Hi, dear audience. I say welcome all of you in my live session. First of all, on the behalf of Global English Language Institute, I say welcome all of the members. As I have promised in my last session that I'll try to be available for the IELTS, and today we have organized a little session for the IELTS guidance so that those persons who are confused and they are searching for the IELTS guidance, so here they can find lots of guidance and they can also get good bands in IELTS. Okay, so our today's session is all about writing module. Especially today I'll talk about the academic IELTS and the particular part that I have chosen today, and that's challenging for all the IELTS members, mostly the non-native speakers, the persons who are appearing in IELTS. They face lots of challenges in IELTS academic, especially the writing module. That is considered the toughest module in IELTS, and in IELTS module the writing task 2 is the most challenging task for the IELTS members. So today I'll give you 7 tips. By following these 7 tips, you can get 7+ bands in IELTS writing task 2. Okay, so give me time. I promise that after the video you will be able to get 7+ bands in writing task 2. Okay, so it's just a game, just a management, because in IELTS sometimes the candidates appears but they are having good command on fluency, they are very good in speaking skill, they know grammar well, they have good vocabulary, but they are not able to get 7+ bands. What's the reason? The reason is quite obvious, because they don't understand the basic structure of IELTS. One by one, section wise, I'll explain each and every question, how you will have to tackle and how you will have to write, how you will have to speak, how you will have to listen, and of course how you will have to read. So gradually we'll move on the insistence of many of my learners. They are confused regarding writing module task 2, because this portion, task 2 is the most scoring portion in IELTS, and the mostly people are confused in this portion, and they lots of queries, lots of questions I'm getting related to this particular portion, and that's why I thought to organize a particular live session on this. I request the members who want to ask the questions, they can also come in live session, they can ask their queries, and they can also ask in comment section. After that I'll also try to respond, I'll try to reply your queries, your questions. So let's start that. What are the 7 magical tricks that today I'm going to share with all of you? And by following these simple 7 tips, you will be able to write such an essay that will secure 7+ bands, especially in task 2. Okay, so my first skill is very simple. That is that, but for the newcomers who having no idea about the IELTS writing module structure, so I explained first of all that what this task 2 is and how the people can get 7+ bands then after. Okay, so task 2 in writing module is all about the essay writing, that you will have to write an essay. Okay, you have 40 minutes and you will have to write an essay during these 40 minutes, and then you will be assessed, and fortunately or unfortunately that is the most scoring part in IELTS. Okay, so that's why we'll have to focus it. If we want to get higher bands, we want to get 7+ bands in IELTS, we'll have to focus it. So today in general, specifically, we are talking about the essay writing, that how can we write 7+ bands essay in our writing module task 2. Okay, so 7 tips after my experiences, after the experiences of the learners. I have accumulated all these experiences and I have screwed 7 golden tips. Okay, 7 golden skills that you will have to follow if you want to get 7+ bands. The very first thing is that whenever you are actually asked to write an essay, okay, on a given topic, the very first skill that you will have to do is to understand the essay. I mean the nature of essay, that what type of essay the interviewer is asking to write. That is the basic skill that each and every IELTS candidate should keep in mind, because whenever you will understand the nature of the essay, it will become easier for you to write such a remarkable essay that can reward you, of course, 7+ bands in this particular portion. So the first skill is to understand the nature of the essay. Lots of essays are there, but according to version 11 to version 18 IELTS Cambridge books, there are particularly 5 types of essays that usually appear in IELTS writing module task 2. Okay, so today whenever we are talking about the nature of essay, we will discuss these 5 types of essays today, because whenever we will comprehend the particular nature of essay, then we'll be able to write that essay in a better way. Okay, the very first essay type that usually appear in IELTS in task 2 is the opinion essay. Okay, the very first category is opinion essay. It means that you will have to give your opinion. You will have to either agree or disagree. For example, the topic can be either mobile phone is a blessing or a curse. Are you agree or disagree? Write down. Okay, so in this way, the very first category is the opinion essay, or you can say agree or disagree essay. In this format, how you will write, it's very simple. We will discuss each and everything in detail today. Okay, but first of all, I'll have to provide you the 5 nature of essays that usually appear in IELTS in writing module task 2. Okay, the very first category is the essay related to opinion, or we can call simply an opinion essay, where we'll have to agree or disagree. The second one is the discussion essay, that in which you will have to discuss. For example, the same essay can be molded in such a way if the interviewer or the examiner said that discuss rural life is better than the urban life. Discuss. Now this is simple essay where you will have to create both the phases, both the aspects of the essay, and you will have to, of course, put your own opinion too if it is particularly emphasized. Okay, so the very first category of essay is an opinion essay, agree or disagree. The second is the discussion essay, where you will have to discuss. You will have to discuss both the sides and your opinion too. Okay, we will discuss further that how can we structure such essays. But first of all, let me explain in brief the natures of the essays or the types of the essays. That is our first skill that we are talking about today. The very first category I have given you is the opinion essay, agree or disagree. Okay, and the second one is the discussion essay, where you will have to discuss, and the third one is the advantage or disadvantage essay. Okay, it is also just like that. We will have to given advantages or disadvantages. For example, the people are migrating to Canada. Explain its advantages and disadvantages according to you. Now this time both sides are also there, but in this way you will have to numerically explain each and every advantage and disadvantage. We will discuss in detail that how can we tackle such essays. Okay, but they have different structures: the opinion essay, discussion essay, advantage and disadvantage essay. Okay, and the fourth one is problem or solution essay. For example, if such essay comes in your paper that noise pollution is the biggest problem in your city. Okay, give few suggestions to improve or to tackle or to cope up this situation. Now this essay is all about the problem that you will have to explain, that what type of situation is in your city or in a particular city that is mentioned in the essay, or give your own opinion, or how can we demolish, how can we decrease, how can we cope up with this situation. So that is the fourth category, problem or solution essay. Okay, and the fifth one, that is very critical and very scientific, that is double question essays. Sometimes the examiner in IELTS give you two questions in essay statement that you will have to understand. For example, the same topic, if the title comes in the paper that the people are migrating to Canada, why it's happening? Give your opinion, either it is pleasant or unpleasant. Now look at the statement. There are two questions the examiner has given in IELTS, these essays especially. The very first is why the people are moving, and the second one is it either pleasant or unpleasant? Is it positive or negative? Now you will have to tackle both the questions. While you are going to write essay, you will have to tackle both the questions. Okay, so that is sometimes tricky, and the IELTS candidates are unable to understand, and they miss some, of course, chunks or some points, and that's why they lose their bands. Okay, so we will talk about especially these 5 categories of essay today, and especially we will talk about the 7 skills that are sufficient to cope up with the challenges that comes before the IELTS candidates, especially in writing module task 2. Okay, so we'll talk about today. I review again that my first skill that I'm sharing with the IELTS learners is that whenever you are going to solve the essay portion or the writing module task 2 portion, that is consisted of 40 minutes. Okay, the very first skill that you will have to apply from your toolbox is to understand the nature of essay. Okay, first of all, categorize in which under which category the given essay falls. Either it is discussion essay, opinion essay, okay, or it is double question essay, and so on. So 5 types of essays usually appear in IELTS writing module task 2. Okay, now that is the very first skill. Now what the learners have done, they have identified the nature of essay that they will have to write down. Okay, and today with an example we will create an essay, and I'll give you the practical tips that how you can follow this example and you can create each and every category of essay whenever it appears in your IELTS paper. Okay, and today we have selected discussion essay, and for example, if it appears in your exams that some people think children should learn competitive spirit, and few things the children should taught cooperation. So which is better according to you? Discuss. Now this is the title of the essay. This essay has 2 portions or 2 parts. The first part is that the children or the of course school going children, they will have to learn the spirit of competition, and the second portion is they should be taught the spirit of cooperation, and which is better? Discuss. Now if you look at the structure of this essay, the discuss word is indicating that it is discussion essay. Okay, so what you will have to do now, the second skill you will start. You will have to structure your essay. Okay, the first skill was identify the nature or the category of essay. The second tool is structure the essay. And to my learners, to my students, I usually give a simple structure model to write any essay. That is called 4-paragraph essay model. Okay, so what is this? You will have to construct 4 paragraphs. What type of essay is there in your paper, in your writing task 2? Okay, you will have to construct, you will have to create 4 paragraphs. The first paragraph is about introduction, the second is about body, third one is also about body, and the fourth one is about conclusion. So that is the simplest and effective way to structure your essay. Either it is discussion essay, either it is opinion essay, or advantage disadvantage essay, or double questions essay, you can create 4 paragraphs. That is the simplest and effective structure to create essay in task 2 to get 7+ bands. Okay, for example, the topic that I have given today is about the student should learn spirit of competition, and the second part of the essay is the student should taught the spirit of cooperation, and the third part is your opinion, discuss. Now what you will have to do whenever you are writing, you are going to write this particular essay on particular topic, of course, you will have to create first of all introduction paragraph. The introduction paragraph is a paraphrasing of the question simply. You can write down all these 3 things in your introduction. For example, you can say some people think that spirit of competition is essential, the student should learn, and few things that the spirit of cooperation is essential or compulsory for the students. According to my opinion, the spirit of cooperation is more effective. Now you have mixed 3 points, okay? And in this way, whenever you have mixed 3 points, of course you are creating a mixture of all the aspects of essay in your introduction, because in introduction you are setting the tone of the essay that you will have to defend, that you will have to explain further in paragraph number 2, body, in paragraph number 3, that is been titled as body, and you will have to then wind up in your conclusion. Okay, so for this particular topic you can structure your essay in this way that the first paragraph will about a general statement, a paraphrasing of the statement of the essay and your opinion, and the second paragraph will be about the first aspect, one aspect of the essay. For example, if you say some people think spirit of competition should be learned, okay, by the school going boys or school going children, whatever is given. Okay, so that is the second paragraph, and the third paragraph will be the second aspect, the second side of the essay, that few think that the spirit of cooperation is essential. So in the last paragraph, I mean in conclusion paragraph, then you can mix up your opinion, and you can create a good conclusion for the writer or for the examiner, I'm sorry. Okay, so that is the second skill that each and every IELTS candidate should understand and should implement. Okay, up till now we have discussed 2 tools or 2 skills. Okay, the first is to understand the nature of the essay. The second is how to structure the essay, because first understand the nature, then construct the structure of the essay accordingly. And I have given you a very simplest and typical model, 4 paragraphs model for it. Okay, and I have also explained that how can you build these 4 paragraphs. Now the third skill is about academic vocabulary. That is my third skill that I have learned from the past experiences, the past paper patterns, the past experiences of the learners. The third one is the academic vocabulary, because you are doing IELTS academic, so you will have to create your essay in an academic vocabulary. For example, in this essay school going children are written, so don't write children. For example, if someone write in this way, someone say the kids should have spirit of cooperation. Now the word kid is informal vocabulary, so never use informal or non-academic vocabulary when you are appearing in IELTS academic, okay, modules. So write down, for example, you can say young learners in spite of the kid. In this way, the IELTS examiner will get to know that you have the professional style, you have the professional lexicons or the vocabulary or the words, and in this way that is very important, especially if you want to get 7+ bands. You will have to use academic vocabulary. Okay, and mostly people confuse, they think that they will have to learn lots of proverbs, lots of idioms and phrasal verbs. No, that's not the way. Be simple but professional and academic. Okay, don't need to go for a busty and bombastic style. Just be simple but use informal and academic vocabulary. Okay, just like I have given example in this context, that in spite of kid, you can use the young learners. Okay, so that is the third skill that is very important to get 7+ in essay writing or in writing module task 2. Okay, and now the fourth one is there, that's also very important, that is the grammar range. That is the most the question that the mostly students ask from me, that sir, what type of grammar we should have to use whenever we are tackling or we are dealing with the writing module task 2, what type of structure of sentences we should have to create. So my answer is usually that grammar range, that is a particular rubrics for assessing the writing module task 2, especially I'm saying that is near about 40 to 50% of your overall scoring regarding this particular part of the IELTS. Okay, so whenever you are going to write essay on any topic, whatever category it is, always use simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. Okay, try to create variety so that the IELTS examiner can understand that you are having a sound grammatical knowledge, a sound grammatical foundation. So mix up simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. For example, you can say young learner should have spirit and they should, okay, in this way. That is a compound sentence. And you can also create complex sentences. Although young learners are competitive in nature, but they are cooperative too. Now this is complex sentence. So that will create impression, and of course the impression will be seen in improving your IELTS bands. So always use simple, compound, and complex. Show your knowledge, okay, according to the scenario, according to the situation. That is the fourth skill. Again, I repeat all the skills. The first is to understand the nature of the essay. The second is how to structure essay. The third is academic vocabulary. And the fourth one is, of course, I have talked about the grammar range. Now, my fifth skill that I want to share with all of you is about cohesion and coherence. That is very important. Okay, that cohesion and coherence. Coherence means the flow of ideas, how you are flowing your ideas. They are not random. That is called the coherence. Okay, and cohesion means how you are joining your ideas in form of sentences, in form of you can call paragraphs. That is called cohesion. So simply in simple words, if I have to say, the examiner will check how your ideas are connected. Either they are connected with the context, and the second is how they are interlinked, how they are making a garlands. I usually say to my students that your ideas are flowers by which you are making garlands. So please make garlands, connect them well in the form of main idea or the topic sentence, supporting details, concluding sentence. So follow this. That is called cohesion. Okay, how you are constructing the sentences, how you are constructing the paragraph, that is called cohesion. And that's very important whenever the IELTS examiner is going to assess your task 2. Particularly, he or she will notice this point, and that will be a very important factor that is affecting your bands. Okay, so that's why I have shared with you. That is my fifth skill, cohesion and coherence. Now the sixth one is there, that is called as relevant and well-developed ideas. Now you will be confused that I have talked about the coherence and cohesion, why I have separated these relevant and well-developed ideas. Sometimes the writers or the students, they are connecting ideas well, but they are not developing ideas well. How? For example, I will give you one principle to tackle this situation, is that whenever you are developing an idea, always give example. Okay, always give example to strengthen, to support your idea. That is called the relevancy. It means that what idea you are giving, that is relevant to the topic, that is relevant in this paragraph, and how you are developing them with the help of supporting details, with the help of examples. That is very important. If you are saying that students are competitive today, then you will have to give example. Yeah, the students are now jealous about the positions and they are always comparing themselves with others. So in this way you will have to give examples that will show you are genuine and you are natural. Okay, so develop your ideas and be relevant in the development of the ideas. That is the sixth skill that is very important. And the seventh one, that is the last but not the least in importance, that is time management. That you have the 40 minutes, then how can you divide your time? That's the most important factor, because mostly students have the vocabulary, they have the knowledge, they have all the things, but they can't manage time well, and that's why they don't get the good bands. So for your guidance, I have divided 40 minutes in three sections. For example, whenever you're given a topic, allot 5 minutes for just a rough sketch. Write down 4 lines, because I have given you 4 paragraphs model, so write down just 4 lines. Every line will be about, of course, 1 paragraph. So in this way, give 5 minutes for constructing these 4 basic ideas. You can use your brainstorming here and you can create the ideas. So 5 minutes for sketching, for brainstorming, and for writing 4 paragraph stuff. And then 30 minutes for your writing and 5 minutes for your review, because review is very important. Sometimes you are doing spellings mistakes, sometimes you are doing verb subject agreement mistakes or tenses mistakes, and sometimes you are whenever you are reviewing, you are pointing out your own mistakes. That's very important. Okay, so these are 7 tools that each and every IELTS learner can use or can get 7+ bands in particular section, IELTS Writing Module Task 2. So at the end, I review all these 7 skills for the sake of your easiness. The first skill was to understand the nature of essay. The second one is to structure your essay. The third one is academic vocabulary. And the fourth one is grammar range. And the fifth one is cohesion and coherence. And the sixth one is develop your ideas well and be relevant. And the 7th one is time management. So that is all about our today's session, and I hope so that these 7 tips, 7 skills will be beneficial for you, and you will get, of course, 7+ bands in your task 2 writing module IELTS academic session. Okay, and especially I request all the members that if you want to ask anything related to task 2, if you want to ask anything related to IELTS in general, you can ask in comment section, give us your feedback. And we are also running free WhatsApp groups. You can also join those groups, and you can also get the free guidance related to your IELTS, related to your PT, and we are dealing IELTS general, IELTS academic, okay, and we are also dealing the PT, OET. So welcome all the members, and say thanks to Global English Language Institute, because it is the platform where the learners from the globe, they are getting guidance and they are doing well in their practical life. So thank you so much, and you can ask the queries in your comment sections. Thank you so much. We'll meet tomorrow in the next session, of course, and then we will discuss further things, explore further things. Thank you so much.